We're in the house up on the hill, Maverick Stadium up at Utah State for tonight's Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. Logan and Ogden. Ogden comes in 2-0, and they meet a Logan Grizzlies team that's 2-0. 71 is a big number in this matchup. That's how many times these teams will have met after tonight. 70 times they've met before tonight. Logan holds the advantage in that 40-26-4. Ogden's putting up all sorts of points. They're averaging 44 points per ball game so far in this young season. They are 2-0 under former Northridge coach Eric Thompson. Does he have the Ogden Tigers going in the right direction? We're going to find out. Travis Van Leeuwen's got the Grizzlies going in the right direction. The first-year coach has his Grizzlies at 2-0 as well, along with a win over Bonneville. They beat Park City last week. Who's going to go to 3-0 tonight? Stick around for the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel and find out.
I need you to bring the energy today. Remember, I'm here to guide you, but you're the one that has to do that work. Are you ready?
With me in 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
All right, push yourself.
This is all you. Let's go.
Give me your best one.
Come off the bike.
Okay, come on, stay with me. Let's go. Strong arms.
2 and 1.
Engage that core.
Everybody meet me on. Let's go.
Get your mind right. I'm gonna change your bike position. You're gonna feel this.
Show me what you got. Come on.
Make yourself proud.
Keep fighting back.
What is the best you got today? Let's go.
Keep riding. That's it.
This is boot camp on a bike.
Let's push.
Woo-hoo.
That's what separates you from everyone else. Best classes, best results. Only with Nordic Track Studio Cycle.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley specialist for 60 years. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning, give us a call. You'll be glad you did. Herm's Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Hello everyone and welcome to Maverick Stadium on the campus of Utah State University for the Game of the Week. I'm Eric Olson, be here with you all night as we've got some great matchups going on here at the Rocky Mountain Kickoff at Merlin Olson Field at Maverick Stadium. Tonight, first off, the Ogden Tigers taking on the Logan Grizzlies as Ogden takes the field. Ogden's been playing football for 118 years, 16 region titles, 26 playoff appearances, and 2 state titles. But the last time the Tigers were in contention, the last time they won their region, 1981. It's been a long, dry spell for the Ogden Tigers, but they've started off this season 2-0. They made the playoffs in 2011, and they're hoping that they can follow up that 2-0 start with a 3-0 here tonight with a win over Logan. Eric Thompson's in his second year. He was 12 years at Northridge, 81 and 67 in those 12 years at Northridge down in Layton. And here come the Grizzlies. First-year head coach Travis Van Leeuwen. You can see him there. He's got the play sheet dangling from his shorts there. He played here at Utah State as a receiver. His youngest brother is one of the top receivers for the Grizzlies. He brought him with him. And the Grizz take the field. They will receive the opening kickoff. Ogden won the toss and deferred, so Ogden will get the ball to start the second half of the Grizzlies offense. Led by Johnny Parkinson will be first up. Johnny Parkinson, who played a couple of years ago as a sophomore. He started as quarterback, 1,660 yards and 9 touchdowns. Then he moved to California down the Orange County area and played quarterback down there. He was the starting JV quarterback for a high school down there. Now, that's not the same JV that we think about. That's that league down there is one of the premier leagues in the country. And so he got some great experience and great opportunities down there. Now he's moved back to Cache Valley, and he's back at quarterback for the Logan Grizzlies. You mentioned 118 years for Ogden. Logan, they've been playing football for 102 years, 27 region titles. 49 times they've been in the playoffs. They've got a winning playoff record, 53-41, and 8 state titles, 3 under Perry Christensen and 5 under Mike Favero in his 17 years. But the last 2 years have been a little bit tough at Logan as they've tried to recover from the departure of Coach Mike Favero. 3-17 in those past 2 years. But again, as we talked about, 2-0 to start this season with wins over Bonneville and Park City. Cade Thornley is another returner for Logan that brings some experience back with him. He was the quarterback last year, 983 yards through the air, 236 on the ground, and now he's the running back, averaging just about 4 yards per carry. Logan still with only 17 seniors on their roster, 18 sophomores, 17 seniors on a roster of 57. Ogden's a team that's heavy on seniors, 51 on their roster, 26 of those are seniors, so over half are seniors. And we're about ready to kick off here at Maverick Stadium. Isaac Wilson, number 24, getting set to kick it off as the sun starts to sink behind the big press box here on a beautiful 3 days before Labor Day, Friday, late afternoon. One thing for Ogden, they're not big. They've got good speed, but they don't have a lot of size. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, well, they have kind of the same issue. Not a ton of size, but they're a little bit bigger than Ogden. We'll see if that plays a part in tonight's game. It's actually Cooper Crabtree that's the kicker, the junior. This one fielded about the 8-yard line, and there's a lot of running room. Or I believe that's Kevin Nye. Nye out near the 40 at the 39-yard line, and that's where Johnny Parkinson in the offense takes over. 15 points per game last year for this Logan offense. '20th in 4A. Parkinson number 8, Thornley number 5 behind him. Jensen and Sargent are split out wide to the far side with 2 receivers here to the near side as they spread it out. Logan comes out firing. They're going up top in a hurry. Van Leeuwen hauls it in. 45 yards, Parkinson to Van Leeuwen. So the Grizzlies go to the air right out of the gates, and now they're in the red zone. Down at the 17-yard line, first down, Logan. Parkinson gonna throw the fade back to the end zone. Great throw, but the receiver couldn't quite get there. Great as in the placement was nowhere. No one would have been able to get to that ball except for his own receiver, but he put just a little too much mustard on it. They'll look at that in film and probably have him put a little more air under it next time, give his receiver a chance to run under it. I think that was Charlie Jensen. They're going to throw underneath quickly. Completed down inside the 5-yard line to Kevin Nye. He's down at the 3, 14 yards, and a first down. Now they're going to hand to Thornley. Thornley's got an opening. He's in the end zone. Just like that, the Grizzlies get into the end zone. Less than a minute and a half into this ball game, and Logan's on the board. 2 big pass plays. Sandwiching around a couple more, and Logan's on the board with the Thornley 3-yard run. Well, somebody needs to hustle out there for the Grizzlies. As they're ready for the PAT. Kicks up, kicks good. 7-0. Grizzlies on top of Ogden with 10:32 to play in the first period.
They would tell me something and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
Seven 0 Logan with the lead. It took him less than a minute and a half to put that 7 points on the board. Jonathan Coffin, number 10, will tee it up. We're sitting way up here at the top of the press box. Logan's number's just a little bit hard to read. Old eyes like mine. This one's going to go down to the 2-yard line. Irving Gastelum can't get it to the 20. He's put down in a hurry. Gastelum has 7 catches for 266 yards for Ogden, number 1. 38 yards per catch he's averaging. 4 touchdowns in 2 games. Bo DeVries, number 10, the quarterback for Ogden. His dad, Jed DeVries, played offensive tackle up here at Utah State. Way back when they won that the bowl game, the Las Vegas Bowl, back in, what was it, 93? Pickup of 5 on first down for Ogden on the run as they pitched the outside. DeVries went on, Jed DeVries went on to play in the pros for a couple of years. They were out in the Syracuse area, and now they've moved over to the Ogden area, and they brought their son Bo with them, and he's been a good addition to this Ogden team, and Logan's offsides. So that's going to put it right near the marker. It's going to be 2nd and inches. Butler motions out of the backfield. They're going to throw it to Gastelum. Gastelum walloped as he goes down. They gave him the first down after the penalty, and Gastelum has the 7-yard gain. He had 42 catches, did number 1, for 788 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. He's already got 4 this year. Two receivers to the near side and the tight ends to the far side. They're going to come this way with it. Not much there for Hansen. Number 33 is Riley Hansen. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's going to be 3rd down and Just over 4 yards to go for Ogden. Logan leads 7-0 with 8:40 to play in the first period. They took the opening kickoff. 61 yards on the drive. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 near. Looks like Butler in the backfield. Now he scoots up and another flag. Now did Ogden move or was it Logan offsides again? Logan's offsides again. That's going to be another first down. So I don't know if Logan's just getting excited to get after the quarterback or if DeVries is doing something to try to pull him offsides. He's 19 of 28, 575 yards in 2 games is DeVries. Just over 30 yards per completion. He's thrown 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, 68%. He's about 6'3". He's a good-sized quarterback. First and 10 at the 40-yard line now for Ogden. DeVries back to throw. Runs out of trouble, back across his body, and it one hops in there. His receiver had fallen down, and here comes the flag. Butler came out of his cut, looking for the out pattern, and he got tangled up with the defensive back, and down he went before the ball got there, and that's going to be another first down, and move the ball inside Logan territory to the 45. 3 penalties on the defense on this drive for Logan. And Kevin Rice, the defensive coordinator, probably have a word or two with his defenders when they get off the field. DeVries, jailbreak, run the screen, the little tunnel screen. Gastelum's got some room, but then they close it in a hurry. Boy, he looked like he was going to have big yardage. And the first one there for Logan was Atuatasi. It's a gain of 5. Ball at the Logan 40, just under 7.5 to play in the first period. 7-0 Logan. This is the Rocky Mountain Kickoff. This is the 3rd year. We take a couple of valley schools and play them up here at Utah State. Talked to some people involved with Ogden. They said their kids are thrilled to come play up here. It's been a long time since they've played in a big stadium. They haven't made it to Rice Eccles for a long time. No gain for Butler. Another 3rd down for Ogden. Now there have been 3 penalties on this drive against the Logan defense. 2 of them have been offside penalties. Let's see if they stay home this time and not give Ogden another easy first down. 3 receivers to this side. In motion goes Hansen. Here's a flag again. This one looks like it's going to be against Ogden. It is. So now it's 3rd and 10. Ogden out of Region 11. They're a 4A team, just like the teams here in Cache Valley. Three receivers to this side, all red is nearest the sideline, and 1 to the far side. DeVries is going to roll this way. Grizzlies in pursuit, and DeVries has to get rid of it. He's pounded into the turf as he throws. And it's incomplete. 4th and 10. Didn't see who that was that got a hold of him. They were coming after him. It was Chris Shopbell. Van Leeuwen's back to receive. He's back at about the 8-yard line. Crabtree standing at his own 40. Almost a 5-minute drive, but no points out of it. Van Leeuwen off of one hop, trying to get to the sideline. Can't quite get there. He's walloped as he goes out of bounds. There's a flag on the play, but I don't think they threw it on the hit. I think they threw it on something going on behind where he was. Somebody for Logan, probably with an illegal block. The ball's out at the 12-yard line. If it's on Logan, it's going to be back at the 6. As they talk about it. So a blind side block. You can't come and ear hole a guy as he's running. They used to do that all the time where you could just peel back, and as long as your head was in front, you could just plow over somebody. You can't do that anymore. So now Ogden defensively has to try to do a little bit better job than they did on the first possession. Colby Buchwald's their defensive coordinator. We'll talk about him in a minute as Thornley in motion. Wide open across the middle, and it's a foot race. That's Kevin Nye. Can Gastelum get to him? He stretches. He's down at the 1. 94 yards. And Logan hurries to the line. I mean, Nye was wide open. Busted coverage for the Tigers. And they're going to give it to Thornley, and Thornley's going to dive in from a yard out for his second touchdown of the night. Set up by a 94-yard pass play. Parkinson to Nye. And the Grizzlies are clicking on all cylinders. Three completions for 108 yards for Parkinson. Kick is good. It's 14-0. Logan, quick strike offense, putting up points in a hurry.
My mom just had a new baby boy. That means I have a new little brother, who I'll be the boss of. The Star Hospital let my mom plan everything on her computer. Dad even cut the umbilical cord. And when I grow up, I'm going to be a baby doctor like Emma over there.
There are 8 Mountain Star hospitals along the Wasatch Front, all equipped for your customized childbirth plan. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
I'm the boss of you.
Well, the Logan offense is going to have to give the Logan defense a rest. They haven't been on the field very long, and they've put up 14 points. Took them 4 plays. The first time they had the ball, it took them 2 this time, and they started at their own 5-yard line. Parkinson to Nye for 94 yards. Has to be the longest non-scoring play of the year so far in the state. Here's Gastelum out across the 25 to about the 27. Ogden had a pretty decent drive going last time they had the football, but they couldn't turn it into any points. And the Tigers take over, trailing 14-0 with 4:46 to play in the first period. Defensively, they were 23rd in 4A last year, giving up 35 points a game, 23rd out of 25 in 4A. They haven't given up points much this season. It's so far. Logan's offsides again. So something with the cadence. That's the 5th penalty on Logan. Colby Buckwalt, he's a former BYU player, spent about 5 years in the pros, linebacker at BYU. He's the defensive coordinator. We've got 6 guys with experience back on that defense as Hansen pushing the pile forward for a gain of 2. But Ogden is looking for something defensively. I mean, they pitched a shutout against Judge. Enterprise scored 20 on them, but here's the thing. It's a great story that Ogden's 2-0, but if you step back and look at it, Judge is 0-2, Enterprise is 0-2. And this is probably their stiffest test. It's a Logan team that's 2-0, but nobody really knows how good Logan is. Coming off back-to-back losing seasons. DeVries has a man down the seam. Hansen hauls it in. He's down to the 35-yard line. 31 yards. Now the ball at the Logan 35. Eric Thompson's teams at Northridge could always score. Scoring hasn't been the problem for Ogden. They're averaging 44 points a game. .320 to play in the first period, 14-0 Logan. They throw it to Hansen. Hansen looking for the edge. He's inside the 30, down to the 26. He's got 9 yards. Two catches for 40 yards now for Riley Hansen. Ball down at the Logan 26. Well, Ogden offensively got something going again. They bogged down after a penalty on their last drive as they got into Logan territory. And DeVries really isn't in any hurry. 2 split wide, and Butler's a halfback. Hansen stays in to block. They're going up top to the pylon. Just a little bit wide. Castillon couldn't get there. Ogden was pretty excited. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Ogden was pretty excited about their offense. You know, they were 17-2 in their myriad passing leagues that they were in this summer, and you got to be careful how much stock you place in passing leagues, but if you're winning at that clip, then you've got to feel pretty good about at least your skill players. The teams live and die with the big uglies up front. Here's a handoff to Butler around the edge to the end zone. Touchdown. Hey, the Tigers are here. 26 yards on 2nd and 1. So Ogden moved the ball on their first possession. They do it again, put it in the end zone this time, and Cooper Crabtree, the junior kicker, has it blocked. 14-6, 2:12 to play in the first period. Logan still on top. Chase Butler, the junior running back, goes around the left end for 26 yards and a touchdown on 2nd and 1. Bo DeVries is 4 of 8 for 52 yards. And Ogden's moving the ball. They finally put it in the end zone. The PAT was blocked. It's 14-6. Here's the bad news for the Tigers. The Logan offense is about to get the ball back. The Grizzlies back at their own 5-yard line. Nigh one of them waiting for this kickoff by Crabtree. They're just going to knock it down in there, and I don't think the Grizzlies got on it. I think Ogden did. They do. Brian Perez was heading over there, and he kind of overran it and didn't get on it, and Ogden has it back. So Ogden with the score, just that little pooch kick, and they've got the ball back right where they scored from last time, at the 26-yard line. Logan special teams, or kick return team, was just a little slow to react to that. Andrew Wallace hustling over there, and he just kind of overran it. And that pigskin will take a funny bounce when it hits the ground. And it went right past him, and Ogden in business at the 26, trailing 14-6, 2:10 to play in the first period. DeVries under center. They're going to try to get to the edge again, and the flag kills the play. Ogden with their second penalty of the evening. They've got 2 penalties for 10 yards. Logan, meanwhile, has 5 penalties for 36 yards. That was the same type of look that Butler got to the edge on his touchdown run a moment ago that they were running out of on their last play. They change up the formation now. Hansen in the backfield. They're going to give on the fly sweep. Hansen the lead blocker. Gastelum on 1st and 15. Picks up 9. That's his first carry. Gastelum's not big. He's a senior. He's 5'10", 160 pounds. And they've been attacking the right side of that Logan defense. Clock stopped as he was forced out of bounds. 2nd and 6. And Hansen needs to know the call. Now they just switched the formation from the last play, and Eric Thompson wants a timeout. I'm not sure they were in the right play. DeVries went up under center. Hansen went up to him and kind of like, hey, what are you doing? DeVries turned back to him and then went back into the backfield with him, and then Thompson came over, Coach Thompson, and said, hey, let's think about this a little bit. First time since 2009 Ogden's been 2-0. They started 5-0 that season. Talking about Bo DeVries last week versus Enterprise, 10 of 14, 333 yards and 4 touchdowns versus Enterprise. 71 times these teams have met since 1920. And Coach Travis Van Leeuwen for the Logan Grizzlies, he's one of 2 unbeaten first-year coaches. There's only 2 first-year coaches that are unbeaten. On the 3rd week, it's Jason Hitchens down at Richfield is the other unbeaten rookie coach. Van Leeuwen was on the Skyview staff with Danilo Robinson last year. Inside give to Hansen. He's tracked down and brought down. He loses a yard. And now we got something going on. Guys getting after each other. Ryan Flores, one of them, 5'9", 280. He's one of the team captains for Ogden. And let's see what the flags are. So often they never see who started it. get the second guy. Or if they're not sure, they'll do offsetting. But they were post-play penalties. DeVries heads to the sideline to confer with his coaches. It's kind of almost like a timeout for him. 1:52 to play in the first period. 14-6 Logan. '93 total yards for Ogden. 112 for Logan. There's been a little offense here in the first period. See the call. Oh, somebody is tossed for Logan, so they've lost one of their defensive players. Kevin Nye's coming off the field. Was it him? It's a huge loss if it was him because he's a returner. He's a receiver. Now that's a 15-yard penalty on Logan, and it moves the ball down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, 11-yard line, excuse me. First down, Ogden. It's Kevin Nye that they brought off the field. They didn't give a number. That's a huge loss if that's who got tossed for the Grizzlies. And now we got a timeout on the field. Try to regroup the Grizzlies here. Coach Van Leeuwen's right in the middle of that huddle. Yeah, it's Nye. That's a big one. I mean, that's not like losing a backup defensive lineman where you can just, you know, all your players are valuable, but Nye is one of those Swiss Army knife players. He can catch the ball, he can run with the ball. He's a returner for them, kick returner, receiver. He's got 2 catches for 108 yards in the first quarter. And he's on the sideline talking to the coaches about what was going on. Well, he had to have taken a poke at somebody and the official saw it to get thrown out. DeVries under center, I formation. They're going to give it to Hansen. Hansen follows Butler. Hansen down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. 5 yards. So you're just joining us, Logan leads 14-6. They've had the ball twice. They've scored both times. This is Ogden's 3rd possession. They had to punt on their first. They scored on their second. They've moved the ball down after recovering just a little pooch kick. And with the help of a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, they've moved it down now to the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 from the 5-yard line. But the big development here is Kevin Nye, the 6'2 senior. And he was one of the captains today, went out for the coin toss, has been thrown out of this game for unsportsmanlike conduct. I did not see what he did. I just saw the aftermath as guys started going after it. And that's a big loss personnel-wise for the Grizzlies. 3rd and 4. DeVries has a man wide open. Touchdown, Ogden. And that's Butler. Butler's first catch of the game, and Ogden is a 2-point conversion away from tying this ball game. We're still in the first quarter. It's been almost a 40-minute quarter with all the scoring and lots of penalties. Crabtree had his first PAT blocked. His second one, no good. 14-12 as we head to break. Six penalties for 51 yards for the Logan Grizzlies. And they had one of their top players, Kevin Nye, thrown out just a moment ago. So it's going to be Thornley and Jensen back to return. Last time Ogden kicked it, they just did kind of a high pooch kick. Crabtree with a perfect little punch on it. Logan didn't get there in time to recover it. Took a little bit of a funny hop away from the Logan player. And we got ourselves a new ball game, 14-12. Two missed PATs the difference right now. Crabtree's going to pooch it again. This time a fair catch called for by Logan. Sam Buckingham, 5'3", 116-pound junior. With the fair catch, and Logan takes over at their own 24. Offensively, Logan has had zero problems. Had the ball twice. They've scored 2 touchdowns. We're 28 seconds away from the end of the first quarter. It's 14-12 Grizzlies. Are we going to have another stoppage? Now they let him go. 2 bullets in the pistol. Now one of them's going to move out. Parkinson's going to keep. He faked the give. Parkinson stumbling across the 50 and on his feet down into Ogden territory. And flags all over the place back at the 38-yard line. So hang on. One of the Logan players was down on the turf. And there were 2 flags around him and his helmet was off. Where are they spotting that thing? It'd be what, a 32-yard run. Let's see the penalty. It's on Ogden. So we had an unsportsmanlike just a few minutes ago on Logan. Now a personal foul on Ogden. And you got to think that the officials are probably starting to think, it's getting a little chippy. Maybe we better keep an eye on this thing. We may see a lot more flags. 9 seconds to play in the quarter. And just like that, Logan's in scoring position again at the 29. That's the end of the first quarter. A little bit of everything in that first quarter. Everything but defense. 14-12, Logan leads Ogden after 1.
look who's up early, Klaus. It's Puffy Baby Man. So pink.
So puffy.
Should we take him clubbing with us?
I'll go clubbing with you, Puffy Baby Man.
Oh.
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
1 quarter in the books here at Maverick Stadium. Eric Olson along with you at the Rocky Mountain Kickoff. This was put together 3 years ago. The Rocky Mountain Kickoff was for $1 of each ticket sold goes to the Family Place, which is a local charity. They're hoping to get, between 2 games here, they're hoping to get 16 to 17,000 people. Now you're looking across the way at the visitors side, and Ogden brought up a few people with them, but right down below us, there's a whole lot of Logan fans. So they're going to take attendance here during both games and see if they can't get a total attendance over those 2 games of 16 to 17,000. First and 10 Grizzlies leading 14-12 as we start the second period. They're going to give it to Thornley. Cuts back into the secondary. Still on his feet. Down to the 6-yard line. 23 yards for Thornley. 3 carries, 27 yards, and a touchdown. In fact, 2 touchdowns for Thornley. Ogden will play a 3-3-5, 4-2 type of look. They'll change things up. They're in a 3-man front now. Walking the backers up into the A-gaps. Now they back one of them off. Parkinson. Touchdown. Parkinson put it where nobody else but his receiver could catch it. Van Leeuwen with the grab. And the Grizzlies on the board again. A little bit of trouble getting the snap down, but they did, and it's 21-12. Logan, every time they've touched the ball, have scored.
Hi guys, Valley. This is Fernando over the factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving out free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the GS in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
(21-12). Logan extends it back out to a 2-score lead over Ogden with 11:09 to play in the first half. Johnny Parkinson with the touchdown pass. 4 out of 5, 114 yards and a touchdown for Parkinson. He put it perfectly where nobody but Van Leeuwen could reach it. Van Leeuwen, 2 catches for 51 yards and a touchdown. Gastelum back at his own 3-yard line. Has a seam, and he's upended at the 27. They're going to actually spot him down at the 26. Well, Ogden's been able to move the ball. .159 yards for Parkinson on 4 completions. Let's get the math right here. Math is hard. DeVries moves his running back up. Screen coming, looking for Hansen. Hansen's got blockers. Spins his way out to the 33-yard line. Six yards on the completion. Logan has moved the ball up and down the field, and they've done it in big chunks. Explosives. Plays that are 20 yards or more for the Grizzlies. 1, 2, 3, 4 explosives in this ball game for the Grizzlies. And they haven't run that many plays. Hansen in motion. DeVries all alone. Steps up. Has a man. Gastelum ran before he hauled it in. He had big yardage. He grabbed it, turned around to run, pulled it into his hip, and knocked it away from himself. 5 of 11, 64 yards and a touchdown for DeVries. And now it's 3rd down and 4. Gastelum would have gained yardage probably down to about the 40. It would have been about a 25-yard gain. He caught that thing on the move DeVries had all day. He stepped up in the pocket. Three receivers to the near side and Hansen in the backfield with DeVries on 3rd and 4. Little inside give to Hansen, doesn't fool anybody, a loss of a yard. Ogden trying to catch Logan napping. Logan was awake and alert. Thank you. And they're not fooled by that little inside give, a little delay. Crabtree with a high kick but short. And the ball at the 44-yard line before Jonah Lowry grabs it. Logan leading 21-12, 9:21 to play in the first half. And the Ogden defense hasn't come even close to stopping this Logan offense. Three wide to the 2 to the far side, 1 to the near. 1 back, and the tight end is on this side. Parkinson has a man. It's Van Leeuwen. 4 yards. Parkinson is 5 of 6. Now they just flip the formation to the other side and hand it off. That's Thornley. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 3rd and 2. It's not Thornley. Yeah, maybe Pawnee. His shirt's all wrinkled up, hard to see the number. Now Thornley motions out of the backfield. Parkinson hit as he throws, has a man with a step and he can't haul it in, but is it caught by Thornley? The ball comes out and they say yes. On the tip drill, the ball is caught. The intended receiver couldn't come up with it. 34 yards and a first down. Sometimes It's better to be lucky than good. Ball fell right into the receiver's hands and he bobbled it. Then the defender got there and it popped out right into Thornley's arms, who was running, trailing the play. Now they're bringing the linebackers up the A gap. Parkinson has to get rid of it in a hurry. He does, and it's incomplete. Isaac Wilson coming on the blitz. And a penalty flags against Logan. It's an illegal shift against the Grizzlies. So they can take 2nd and 10, or do you back them up 5 yards and give them 1st and 15? Well, they're going to take the 5 yards. So Logan with another penalty. $56 yards worth on 7 penalties. That would have been Parkinson's 2nd incompletion of the night. But it doesn't count because of the penalty. 2 backs in the backfield. Parkinson's going to hand it off to Thornley. He's hauled down, no gain. Cade Thornley, the junior. He and Nye going back and forth at quarterback last year. He really settled on Thornley. 983 yards through the air, 236 on the ground last year for Thornley, quarterback. Parkinson's got a man in the flat. It's Thornley. Thornley inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Pardon me, he's inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. It's 8 yards. Here's an unfamiliar spot for the Grizzlies. 3rd down. I think it's their first one of the night. It's 3rd down and 7. At the 12-yard line of Ogden. Leading 21-12. Here's a little shovel pass to Pawnee. Ball's out. One of the big linemen's on it down at the 10-yard line. So Logan keeps possession, but it'll be 4th down and 5. Kyle Truex, 6'3", 260-pound senior, gets a rare opportunity to touch the pigskin. Logan's not bringing a kicker out. 4th and 5. You've done whatever you want offensively. Why not go for it? And that looks like what they're going to do. Ogden's put together a couple of good defensive plays here recently. Parkinson to the end zone. No flags, no completion, no score for the Grizzly offense. And the Tigers will take over at their own 10-yard line, trailing 21-12. So the Ogden defense gets a stop for the first time tonight. And Parkinson throws just his 2nd incomplete pass. He's 7 of 9. 185 yards and a touchdown. He threw a 94-yard pass, well, catch and run, and that did not go for a touchdown. Kevin Nye was caught at the 1-yard line. I'd love to look at that one again because he stretched across the end zone, but if his knee came down first, and there was an official right there on top of it. Hansen on the little fly sweep, trying to get him around the edge. And there was one more defender than there were blockers. $2 yards for Hansen. kind of settled down here in this second quarter. That first quarter took 40 minutes to play. We're at 5:45 to play here in the first half. It's only taken 10 minutes to play this quarter so far. I shouldn't have said that out loud. DeVries with the little quick hitter and running room for Butler. He's knocked down, but not until after he picks up big yardage. 22 yards for Butler, and he very easily could have taken that one to the house. He was tripped up at the last moment. But it's a first down and some breathing room for Ogden as they started this back at their own 10-yard line. They're out to the 34. Hansen in the backfield with DeVries. DeVries, the quick hitter to Gastelum. Gastelum making moves. Out across the 40. Ball's out! Recovered by Ogden, back at the 40. 6 yards as Gastelum was fighting for more yardage. Logan stripped it away, and it was recovered by Ben Howard. Gain of 6. Seven of 12 for 70 yards and a touchdown for DeVries. So they're holding him well below his yards per completion. Coming into tonight, he's averaging 30.25 yards per completion. He's at 10 yards per tonight. Speaking of DeVries. Back to throw again. Looks underneath and throws wide of Hansen. Tyson Sauer had the coverage. 3rd and 4. One of the hardest passes to throw in football, that out pattern to the wide side, field side. They don't call them wide and near anymore. They call them boundary and field. Boundary side's the one closest to the sideline. So this is the boundary. And they go right up the middle with Butler. Butler's got the first down. 7 yards on 3rd down and 4. 40 yards on 5 carries. Butler averaging 8 yards a tote. We're nearing halftime, and we're still a half an hour away from when most games would kick off. As this game started at 5:30, it's a doubleheader here at Maverick Stadium tonight. The nightcap, a game a lot of people are looking forward to. Box Elder and Mountain Crest. Box Elder 5A, Mountain Crest 4A, coming off a year where they played for the state title. Everybody's coming after DeVries. Can he get away? Yep. He unloads. He's just trying to throw this one away. 6 defenders coming after DeVries. And he bought himself enough time to just get rid of it. Logan beat Bonneville in the opener 28-13 and then put it on Park City 33-6. There was a lightning delay in that ball game. Parkinson with 2 touchdown passes in that one. 17 points in the first quarter and 24 in the first half for the Grizzlies in that ball game. They put it away early. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line. Here's the screen to Butler. Butler's got one man to beat and he couldn't do it. There was one Grizzly there and he slid up in between 2 big blockers. They didn't even look at him. Shotbell comes in and makes the tackle for no gain. If he doesn't make that tackle, Butler might still be running. Third and 10. This drive kind of stalling out now for Ogden. They started at their own 10-yard line and gained 37 yards on this drive. But they're still not to midfield yet. DeVries, double move, hangs it up there, has a man, and he's still on his feet. It's Gastelum inside the 20. He could go. No flags. Touchdown, Ogden. 53 yards on 3rd and 10. Wow. Gastelum, 4 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. DeVries put that throw right on him, and then Gastelum did the rest. Crabtree's kick up and good. 21-19. We got a barn burning here at the Maverick.
Vehicle won't start? We can fix that. Not running right? We can fix that. Won't stop? We can fix that. Auto Evolution. Honest service at a fair price on Airport Road.
An entertaining first half here at Maverick Stadium. I'm really worried that before this ball game's over, I'm going to call it Romney. Maverick Stadium. It's been Maverick for a couple of years. 21-19, Logan leads Ogden. 2 missed PATs. Well, a missed one and a blocked one. The difference in this ball game. As there's been all sorts of offense in this game with the occasional flash of defense. Logan missing one of their top players as Kevin Nye was thrown out of the ball game for an altercation earlier. And things have gotten a little chippy here and there. Both of these teams looking to prove that they're for real. Wanting both of them 2-0, wanting to move to 3-0. Logan offensively bogged down for the first time on their last possession. Gave the ball over on downs. The Ogden 10. There's that high pooch kick again, and fair catch called for at the 27. It worked earlier in Ogden's favor, and they were able to come up with it after Logan couldn't field it. Logan's adjusted to it, and I would imagine Ogden's just going to keep doing it. You give Logan the ball at the 25, 26-yard line, the 27. It's not horrible starting field position, really, for either side. And here comes Parkinson in the offense, back out onto the field. Parkinson with 185 yards passing and a touchdown. 7 of 9 through the air. Here's the delayed give. Thornley with 9 yards. He's got 36 yards on 5 carries. Logan averaging 30.5 points per game. They've got 21, and we're not to halftime yet. 1:45 to play in the half. They pull the guard. Thornley tries to follow, and they're in the backfield, and the Tigers are feasting before he can make a move. A loss of 2, 3rd down and 4. Third and 3, Parkinson has a man on a little out pattern, catch made, and a first down. Sauer with 8 yards. and the Grizzlies keep the drive going. Ogden will get the ball to start the second half, so the Grizzlies would like to keep a little distance between themselves and the Tigers. Going up top, Jensen has a step and he can't get there as Parkinson laid it out there for him. Jensen tried to kick it into that other gear, and it was just about a foot too long. 2nd and 10. Early in this ballgame, it looked like Logan would run away with it. But they've been outscored 19-7 since going up 14-0. Ogden's kind of found a little bit of a groove. Fake the give, and Parkinson rolls. Has a man, it's a little bit behind his intended receiver. And Jalen Sargent, the sophomore. And Parkinson, who was only his 4th incompletion. He was 8 of 12, 193 yards and a touchdown. Pretty darn good first half. But now it's 3rd down and 10 with 59 seconds to play in the first half. Ogden's bringing pressure. 6 guys coming. Parkinson gets rid of it. The safety's there and he picks it off. Nick Freeman takes it out of the air and Freeman returns it back up to the 47-yard line. A late flag after the play, but with 41 seconds to go in the half, Ogden has a chance to take the lead in this ball game. And after the play, more garbage going on. There's a flag, and let's see. Who they flagged. For Parkinson, that's his first interception. It's on Ogden. So that's a break for the Grizzlies. Only the 4th penalty on Ogden. 4 penalties, 40 yards. That's the kind of penalty in film on Monday. That kid's going to get an earful because instead of having the ball up near midfield, because somebody's got to try and show what a big tough guy he is, he does something stupid, and now you're back at the 31-yard line. 41 seconds to play in the half. 2 timeouts left for Ogden. They trail by 2. DeVries slips out of trouble. Looking downfield, he's got Hansen down there, and instead it's grabbed by Howard, Ben Howard, down at the 31. From the 31 to the 31, 38 yards. Looked like Hansen was coming over to get that one, and then Howard leaped up and grabbed it. Howard's 6'4". And they've stopped play here again for a moment. So the game clock's showing 12 seconds. They reset it to 20. That didn't take 30 seconds to run that play, and they stop. You stop the clock to reset the chains, and then as soon as they're set, they start it again. And one of the linemen had to come out for Ogden. The official told him he had to go out when Ogden's lineman said something with his uniform. And he doesn't know quite why they made him come out. DeVries throwing it up there for Gastelum, and it's just out of his reach. DeVries now 10 of 17, 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maverick. We've got a shootout going on up here at the Mav. 12 seconds to play in the half. Now Crabtree has had trouble on PATs, so I'm guessing he's not a long ball field goal kicker. DeVries going up top again. This one's going to be picked. Was that Sauer? I think it was. It is Sauer. It's picked off down at the 5-yard line. DeVries was throwing for the pylon, but his receiver never made a break to the outside. So with 5 seconds to play in the half, do the Grizz go up top, or do they just take a knee and get to the locker room, leading by 2? They might take a shot. Parkinson with the inside give to Thornley. Thornley's going to pick up 4, and that's the half. An entertaining first half of football here at Utah State at Maverick Stadium, and the Logan Grizzlies lead the Ogden Tigers 21-19 as we go to the locker room.
PCs Unlimited is Cache Valley's first choice for all things computer. For over 20 years, our friendly and knowledgeable staff have been there to help you with on-site and in-store service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all of your computer needs. Our prices are low and our customer service is the best. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited, 610 North Main in Logan.
And that's why I don't like gyms.
Well, Megan, we're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
No gym intimidation, no lunks, clean and spacious. Just $10 a month. We're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
Wendy's 4 for $4 is now better than ever because it's the deal with more variety than ever. With 8 different sandwiches to choose from, plus nuggets, fries, and a drink. So choose a double stack, or the crispy chicken sandwich, or a grilled chicken go-wrap, or the junior bacon cheeseburger, or any of these others. Whatever you choose, you still get this much food, all for just $4. So try all 8 and pick your favorite, and taste what makes the new 4 for $4 deliciously different. Only at Wendy's.
They would tell me something and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And I was thoroughly confused. I had no idea where to go. There are so many options.
Say the word pass.
And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word red.
And I am here to tell you, it was like night and day. The minute I walked in the first place, but learning more about him, having him tell me a little bit about him and his qualifications. And I know he's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD. So I knew that he had spent many, many years and had a lot of experience. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. Very, very well worth it. And I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
Hey, wanted to tell you my experience with Discount Tire. I own quite a few vehicles, more than I should. Discount Tire always takes care of me. I go down there, I feel like part of the family. They keep records of everything they've done to every one of my vehicles. They keep better records than I do. I go in there, I don't bother checking prices. Their prices are awesome. I need an inspection, I call them, wow, come on down, we'll take care of you. In fact, I have a vehicle down there right now, and that's what they said, come down, we'll take care of you. They're just great people. You go in there, it's a homey atmosphere. Their waiting area, gosh, got a TV going on, it's very comfortable. It's always very comfortable, summer, winter. They just do a great job, but more importantly, they take really good care of my vehicles. They're really good guys.
I want to succeed in athletics, but I also want to succeed in school, and I also want to help my family and my community. And so I think through being balanced and juggling all these things, it leads me to fulfill those wants and then be happier because of it.
In order to have a fulfilling and well-rounded life, you have to do a lot of different things.
She goes to her classes and she does her sports.
I don't really know how she does it. She goes there every day, which is like a smile on her face. I think everyone can have a drive, but it's the people that actually choose to feed this hunger are the people that stand out. Your hunger to win has to be bigger than anybody else's.
If she sets her mind to it, she's going to accomplish it, and I have no doubt about that. Whether it's she needs to drop 3 seconds on her time, she needs to get a better grade on her math test. Bill is just one of those people who, whenever I see you do anything, you always have this drive.
There's a drive there that comes from wanting to be everything that her mom set in motion in the first 13 years of her life.
My mom was one of my closest friends, so she had such an immense impact and influence on my life that when she died, my whole world was kind of turned around.
She was heartbroken, as you would imagine. She knew she had all these little ones looking to her. He was only 12 years old, but she became the person who was handling it.
I'm trying my best, I guess. It's been hard. She was such a big part of my life, but I'm doing the best I can.
She's a beautiful runner, and it's just amazing to watch her run.
She's a tremendous sister, tremendous daughter, caring soul, remarkably proud of Jillian.
She has so much responsibility in her life. It's also amazing that she does it with such humility and grace.
When you lose your mom and your sister, you realize how precious every day is, and you want to make the most of every day. You sort of set high goals for yourself, and you sort of work to achieve them.
Sheer will and, passion and, but to get themselves there quicker than anybody else, to reach down deep, push through that pain, that both mental pain where you just want to stop, you want to give up, and that physical pain where your legs and your muscles are screaming, and just get yourself there.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley specialist for 60 years. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning, give us a call, you'll be glad you did. Herm's Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Welcome back to Maverick Stadium on the campus of Utah State University. Eric Olson along with you on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel in the first half, an entertaining one. 21-19, Logan leads Ogden. Logan led this game 14-0 and looked like they were going to blow the Tigers out, and then things started to turn, and Ogden outscored Logan 19-7 the rest of the way in that first half. And we got ourselves a ball game. Kevin Nye thrown out for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. He's a Swiss Army knife, is what I called him earlier for this team, offensively, defensively, and special teams. So that's a big loss for Logan. And both these teams putting up some points as well as some yardage. 60 yards rushing for Ogden, 161 through the air, 221 total yards. Bo DeVries, 10 of 17, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns, along with 1 interception right there at the end of the half. Gastelum has 4 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown, 3 for 46 for Hansen to lead the way. Howard had 1 for 38, and Butler's your leading rusher, 5 for 40. The Grizzlies with 76 yards on the ground, 193 through the air for 269 total yards. 38 yards rushing on 7 carries for Thornley. 193 yards on 8 of 12 passing and a touchdown for Johnny Parkinson. Van Leeuwen has 3 catches for 55 yards. Nye had 2 catches for 108 yards before he was tossed. Thornley has 2 for 42. One of those catches for Nye was a 94-yarder. He was caught at the 1-yard line. Ogden fields this short kick at about the 26. It is at the 26-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will take over, trailing by 2. The game after this one, Box Elder and Mountain Crest. 5A Box Elder and Mountain Crest, who's 1-1. Wasatch put it on the Mustangs last week, 35-14, I believe, the final in that ball game. Box Elder started out 2-0, beating Layton and then beating Bear River last week in that rivalry game. A lot of people looking forward to that game, and a lot of people, as I'm walking around the booth here at halftime, surprised by how entertaining this one is. 2 teams that were just been down, and this year look like they're going to bear keeping an eye on. Here's Hansen out across the 40 to the 44-yard line. 18 yards and a first down. Hansen's 4th catch. 64 yards on those grabs. Things were getting a little chippy at times in this first half. A lot of penalties, 4 accepted on Ogden, 7 on Logan. Here's the give as they run around the left end. It's Jonah Lowry picking up 6. Rice with the tackle. It's the ball right at midfield. We've just started the second half. Ogden trails by 2. Bunch to the near side. They're going to turn around and give it to Hansen. Hansen still on his feet, and he's upended finally at the 43. 7 yards and a new set of downs. Ogden's moved the ball pretty well. They've turned it over once. They had their opening drive, showed promise. They fell behind immediately, 7-0. Their opening drive showed promise and then bogged down after a penalty. Logan went up 14-0, and then Ogden started coming back. Here's Hansen. Fly sweep, nope. DeVries is going to keep it with a flag down. DeVries has Gastelum across the middle. Makes half a move. Can't make the man miss. He's down at the 18-yard line. Let's check the flag. It's 25 yards, and it's an illegal shift on Ogden. Second time we've seen that penalty tonight, once on Logan, this time on the Tigers. Two men in motion, so as Hansen was coming in motion, somebody else was moving. It'll be 1st and 15. The Rocky Mountain Kickoff in its third year, taking two Valley teams and pitting them against various opponents. Logan showing blitz, and they bring it. Hansen gets past the first wave, picks up the penalty yardage +1. But $1 from each ticket sold goes to charity, goes to a local charity. Again, they're hoping for 16,000 to 17,000 people. If you're watching us on Facebook, come on up for the second game. Mountain Crest fans are starting to file in, sitting over. It looks like they're sitting over on the far side, maybe. Seeing a lot of orange over there. Of course, Ogden's got orange in that color scheme. Hansen on the toss, picks up good yardage, 3rd and short, but stop me if you've heard this one. There's a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. 12 accepted penalties in this ball game so far. There's 9:15 to play in the third, holding on Ogden. And that's penalty number 13. Pawnee trots onto the field, and Truex will get a breather. So that backs Ogden up into their own territory at the 47-yard line. Second and 20. Four-man rush, they give it to Butler. Butler and somebody around his leg, and he only gains 3. Jaden Ramos, 5'8", 200-pound senior on the tackle for Logan. 3rd and 17. Ogden taking their time. They want to control the ball, long drives, and keep that Logan offense off the field. Approaching 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. DeVries out of the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. Now time runs out. 3 times he looked like he was going to get rid of it, and each time he brought it down, and the Logan Grizzlies finally bring him down. A loss of 7, the first sack of the game. So penalties stop that drive in its tracks. And something we haven't had much of, a punt. Van Leeuwen right through the first 2 defenders up to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Logan offense will take over, leading by 2, 21-19, and Van Leeuwen gets up a little gimpy. They're already missing 9. They don't want to be without Van Leeuwen. He's the leading receiver on this team. 13 catches, 171 yards coming into the night. We can add 55 yards and 3 more catches to that total. 3 touchdowns on the season. Up top, right away. A lot of air under that ball, and it's caught. Here's a flag coming down late on the near sideline. Jensen's to the 42. It'd be 23 yards pending the flag. An eligible man downfield for Logan. That's penalty number 15. Accepted penalty number 15. Nope, 14. Well, lineman downfield too far. I mean, that is saying something because Parkinson just took one step back and launched that thing with a lot of air under it and let his receiver run underneath it. I think it was Charlie Jensen. How could a lineman get downfield that quick? Ogden bringing 4. Give to Thornley around the right end. They hem him in, no gain. Thornley's got 38 yards on 8 carries. 23 of those yards came on 1 carry. Parkinson 1 carry for 32. And Pawnee 2 for 6. Five-man rush coming after Parkinson. He's got time. He unloads too high. He was looking for Sauer. It's going to be 3rd down. 3rd and 15 for Logan. 6:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. Ogden's first drive of the half ate up over 4 minutes. But they ended up having to punt after a couple of penalties. Now Logan with their first possession of this second half. Parkinson going up top. All sorts of guys there. And the ball's on the turf. There were 2 receivers running within 2 feet of each other. And Coach Van Leeuwen is telling one of them, hey, you're supposed to be running a post. You're running inside. One of you is running up. And one of you is running in. Coach Van Leeuwen not thrilled with the execution there, and the Grizzlies will have to punt. This may be Logan's first punt. Sauer late getting out onto the field. Gastelum fair catch at the 35. And that's where Ogden takes over. Logan hanging on to a 2-point lead, 21-19. Is the kicker for Logan. And the punter there, not bad punt. Riley Hansen. 8 yards on 1st down. Sauer came in and made the play. It's 2nd and 2. See if Ogden takes a shot. They've been patient, trying to keep drives going as long as possible to keep that Logan offense off the field. DeVries rolls one way, throws back the other. Pick! And lots of green in front of the defender. Down to the 10-yard line. The Grizzlies in business after the pick and the return. It's Isaac Larson with the interception. He undercut the pattern. DeVries was rolling to his right, and he turned and threw back left to the wide side. And Larson undercuts the pattern, picks it off, and returns it to the 10-yard line. Another turnover for Ogden. 2 interceptions thrown by DeVries. The first one, he's throwing it up there late in the first half. He's trying to get into scoring position. With 5 seconds left, he threw that pick, but this one hurts. Here's the little shovel pass. Inside, touchdown, Logan. Pawnee with the catch and the touchdown. $10 yards, and Parkinson's over 200 yards passing. 9 of 15, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 2 little shovel passes he's thrown in this ball game. Both down deep in opponent territory. Kicks up, kicks good. 28-19, Logan with a little bit of breathing room.
Tell me something, and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again, and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
28-19, Logan extends their lead over Ogden after the turnover, after the interception, returned back to the 10-yard line. Skyview at Springville tonight, just underway, and Skyview already leading that one 7-0, looking to go 3-0. Ridgeline looking to go 3-0. Well, they got beat last night by Highland of Idaho, 45-7. Green Canyons at Viewmont, no score yet in that one. And of course, Mountain Crest and Box Elder coming up next. Still on his feet, the Ogden runner out across the 35 to near the 41-yard line. That's Jonah Lowry. So Ogden has answered the bell every time the Grizzlies came up and rung it. Let's see what they can do here. They had a good drive going to start this second half, and then penalties killed it. And then the interception with the long return a moment ago. .445 to play in the third. Hanson, a lot of running room on the quick give. Breaks it to the outside, and it's a foot race. Logan's got an angle. Hanson stumbles down to the 10-yard line. 50 yards on the run. Hanson slow to get up. He's cramping. He's down on the sideline. He's reaching forward, pulling his toe back. That usually is a sign of cramps. You saw as he was running, his legs just kind of gave out as he was trying to make a move. And that's where that cramp hit him. And he pushed that toe forward, trying to work those cramps out. Riley Hanson, the 5'10 senior. Before the game, we mentioned 26 seniors on this roster. Hanson last year had 88 carries for 563 yards and 7 touchdowns to lead the team. He's got 82 yards on 11 carries tonight. Including that one right there, 50 yards. Now they've worked that cramp out. He'll spend a minute on the sideline. Somebody get him a quart of pickle juice. It's full of potassium. First and goal at the 10-yard line for Ogden. They trail 28-19. DeVries with the give to Butler. He's got a crease and he picks up 4. Butler's got 7 carries for 47 yards. Hansen 11 for 82. 129 yards on the ground between those two. Gastelum has 1 for 9. Lowry has 1 for 6. DeVries sacked for a 7-yard loss. Second and goal from the 6. Give it to Butler again. Following blockers leaning forward and they blow the play dead. Ogden with a procedure penalty. Man, Ogden now with 7 penalties. Logan with 8. $60 yards worth of penalties for Ogden. So now it's second and goal back at the 11. And they're opening up holes right up the middle. And Ogden not big. They are at a size advantage, but they're moving guys out of the way. DeVries, the I formation. Now he's got a man in the back of the end zone. Butler sneaks out and catches it for a score. Ogden will not go away. The Grizzlies got a tiger by the tail. $11 yards in the touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for DeVries. He's hit Butler, he's hit Gastelum, and actually he's hit Butler twice. Kick looks good, and it is good. Ogden won't go away, 28-26 with 3:04 to play in the third. Logan with the lead.
My mom just had a new baby. Boy. That means I have a new little brother, who I'll be the boss of. The Star Hospital let my mom plan everything on her computer. That even cut the umbilical cord. And when I grow up, I'm going to be a baby doctor like Emma over there.
There are 8 Mountain Star hospitals along the Wasatch Front, all equipped for your customized childbirth plan. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
I'm the boss of you.
Each time Logan looks like they're going to put some distance between themselves and the Tigers, Ogden comes right back. And they do it there, courtesy a 50-yard run, and then a pass for a touchdown. Regardless of the penalties, it's 28-26 Logan. Hey, Lynn's Audio and Video is celebrating their 60th anniversary, 60 years in business. In this day and age when businesses come and go, especially in an electronics retailer, I mean, they are doing something beyond right. Great products, better service, great people down at Lynn's Audio and Video. You can you got a cracked screen on your phone, on your iPad, take it in there, 20% off at Lynn's Audio and Video, part of their 60th anniversary celebration. That's Lynn's Audio and Video, longtime sponsor of Cache Valley High School sports on the Valley Channel. Van Leeuwen picks this one up off of 2 hops, returns it out to the 28. Maybe that was Thornley. Let's take a look. Yeah, that was Thornley. And the Grizzly offense will come back out onto the field. Johnny Parkinson's passed for 203 yards. 76 yards on the ground for Logan as a team. They're in a dogfight. Leading Ogden by 2. Both teams looking to go to 3-0. Parkinson throws it before his man even comes out of his break, and it right on Thornley. 7 yards. He was a sophomore. Parkinson looked good when he was thrown in there as a sophomore. I mean, he looked good. Well, we've got a foul, a penalty, roughing the passer. So they're going to tack 15 more on. That's the 8th penalty on Ogden. We're going to be over 20 penalties for the night between both teams. The Stripes are adjudicating this one with a keen eye because there's been some nonsense that's gone on. Here's the inside give to Thornley. Slips out of the grasp of one defender, leans forward for 5. Logan Shoby on the tackle. He was one of the leading tacklers last year. Here's another give. Lots of running room for Thornley. Thornley down near the 20-yard line. He's going to be stopped at the 21. 24 yards for Thornley. Officially 23. So Thornley now 10 carries, 66 yards. As the Grizzlies go to the ground game. 2 minutes to play in the third and a 2-point Logan lead. Parkinson, lots of time. Over the middle. Incomplete. Second and 10 at the 21. 1:48 to play in the third. Pawnee in the backfield. We're going to give it off. Pawnee running hard down to the 18. 3rd and 7. Pawnee motions out of the backfield. They're going to give it to Thornley. Thornley waits, finds a hole. He's inside the 1. One official is looking at the other one, and they're going to mark it at the 1-yard line. 17 yards for Thornley. Now he's up to 83 yards rushing, and the Grizzlies hurry to the line. Ogden's trying to sub guys in and out. And Parkinson's going to keep it. Puts his head down, and he's 4 yards into the end zone before he gets touched. Third rushing touchdown of the night for the Grizzlies. First for Parkinson. Thornley has the other 2. So Parkinson adds a rushing touchdown to his 2 through the air. And the Grizzlies continue to keep the Tigers at bay. PAT's blocked. 34-26. When we come back, Logan hanging on. Still running out to the 25 and finally hauled down is Jonah Lowry. First and 10 for Bo DeVries. And the Ogden offense. If you're just joining us, Bo DeVries, a transfer to Ogden from the Syracuse area. His dad, Jed DeVries, a Utah State graduate, played on the 93 Vegas Bowl champions team here at Utah State. It was an offensive tackle on that team. Anthony Calvillo, the quarterback. So many great players on that team. Rich Tilsky went on to play in the pros along with DeVries, Warren Bowers, their center, Jason Mon, the other tackle. DeVries waits, throws over the middle, has his man, and still on the move into Logan territory is Gastelum. Gastelum with 27 yards on the reception. Gastelum 5 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown. 13 of 20 for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns for Bo DeVries. He's going to turn and hand it to Butler, and he's wrapped up and thrown down in a hurry. Loss of a yard for Butler. That's the first negative carry of the night for Butler. 8 carries, 46 yards. And that's the end of the third quarter. Come on back. The fourth quarter is going to be a wild one here at the Maverick. 34-26 Logan. Second down and 11 at the Logan 49 as we start the fourth quarter. Eric Olson along with you on the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. DeVries turns and hands to Hansen. He picks up 2. It'll be 3rd and long. 12 carries, 84 yards for Hansen. 7 yards a tote. 34-26 our score. Logan in the shootout with Ogden. The blocked extra point a moment ago after Logan's touchdown could be big. It's now a 1-score game. A touchdown and 2-point conversion ties it. DeVries tries to run the screen, and Gastelum runs into his own blocker. Somebody for Logan, didn't catch who it was. I don't know if it was a linebacker or a D lineman. He blew up that play by taking on a blocker and just pushing him back right into the receiver. I think it might have been Pawnee. The blocker couldn't move him, and Pawnee, in fact, pushed the blocker back into Gastelum. They're running the fake. On 3rd down and 9, they run a fake, and they come up well short. Isaac Wilson took the snap. He needed 9, got 5. And that's being generous. So now Logan takes over, leading by 8. A score here maybe gives Logan a chance to breathe a little easy. Ogden's put the pressure on him all night. Here's the give and a loss. A big one at that. 5-yard loss for Thornley. Second and 15. Parkinson, 2 backs in with him. Now he's going to motion Pawnee out. Fake to give to Thornley. He stumbles coming out to his right, and he throws it a little wide of Pawnee. 3rd down. You got a cracked screen on your iPhone or on your iPad or on any phone that you've got, take it to Lynn's Audio and Video. 60-year anniversary at Lynn's Audio and Video. You get 20% off. Mentioned that you heard it here on the Valley Channel. You get 20% off of that repair. If you've got kids, that means you've got multiple phones and you got more than one cracked screen. If you don't have more than one cracked screen and you've got kids, I want to know how you've done it. 3rd and long. Parkinson hanging it up for Jensen. The DB is there, but Jensen's too tall. "49 yards. The DB had perfect position, but Jensen was just too tall. And for Jensen, his first catch of the game. Jensen just hopped over him, tapped it to himself, and caught it. And the ball's on the 14-yard line of Ogden. Thornley making him the first man miss, and he picks up 2. I mean, that's just almost a backbreaker if you're the Ogden defense. You're there defensively. You're in great position. The receiver just makes the play. Charlie Jensen, 6'2", being covered over there by a 5'9" corner. Logan tries the run again and no gain. Now it's 3rd down and 9. In fact, that's going to be a loss of a yard. Back at the 12-yard line. The way the Grizz have played this tonight, this is 4 downs, no questions asked. 9 minutes to play in this ball game. Logan by 8. 4-man rush. They throw the little slant, but the receiver has to go down to get it, and he picks up 2. Van Leeuwen. It'll be 4th down and 7, right at the 10. Now they're going to stack the receivers on either side. Pawnee's in the backfield with Parkinson. 5-man rush coming after Parkinson. Underneath, he's got a man. Touchdown. Logan got away with a little bit of a hold. One of their offensive linemen reached out and grabbed one of the Ogden rushers. Parkinson throws the BB. "10 yards and some breathing room to Jensen. Kick's good. 41-26 with 8:12 to play in the ball game. The Grizzlies in control.
up early, Klaus. It's Puffy Baby Man. So pink.
So puffy. Should we take him clubbing with us?
I'll go clubbing with you, Puffy Baby Man.
Oh.
The world judges. We don't. Planet Fitness. Be free.
41-26 our score here as Logan puts another one in the end zone. 8:12 to play in the ball game. Viewmont leads Green Canyon 10-0. The second quarter about halfway through in that one. Ridgeline got beat by Highland of Idaho last night. Highland of Pocatello. If I remember right, that's Taysom Hill's old school. Coffin's kick gets to the end zone, so Ogden now trailing by 15. Their biggest deficit of the ball game. They've trailed by 14 a couple of times. They cut it back to within 2 points on multiple occasions. But for the first time in a long time, they were unable to answer a Logan score on their last possession. West side of Idaho is playing Rich tonight. They lead Rich 20-0. Skyview and Springville 7-6. Skyview leads that one. About midway through the second period. DeVries, the play action. Nobody open. Points his man downfield and then takes off. And he gains 7. Time now of the essence for Ogden. Earlier they were taking their time trying to get long possessions, hold on to the ball, and then hopefully score and keep the Logan offense off the field. Well, now they're going to have to pick it up because they're down by 2 scores. There's 7.5 to play in this ball game. First man through is Hansen. He's going to be right at the sticks. I think that's going to be enough for a first down. Well, they're going to move the chains. 13 carries, 88 yards now for Hansen. Skyridge leads Roy 14-0. Former Aggie Fred Fernandez is why I bring that one up. He's the head coach at Roy. All he's done is win wherever he's been. Woods Cross, Northridge, and now Roy. Roy had started the season 2-0 after Coach Fernandez had a heart attack a week before the start of the season. From what I understand, he's okay. Roy off to a good start. Getting beat tonight by Skyridge. Here's Butler on first down. Gain of 4. You still have to mix it up. You can't just try to throw it around, and they've been successful running the ball. .158 yards rushing as a team for Ogden. 90 of those here in the second half. DeVries all sorts of time. Unloads too high. Jackson Allred was coming across the middle at midfield. He was open, and DeVries just put it too tall. Bonneville's beating Bear River second, 7-0. We saw Bonneville last week come from behind to beat Green Canyon. Bonneville looking to improve to 2-1. Third and 7. This is one that could be the ball game. DeVries has a man on the sideline. He only needs 1 foot in. Did he get it? Yes, he did. He got 9 yards. It's Hansen. 14 of 21, 226 yards and 3 touchdowns for DeVries. Logan playing their safeties up tight. Here comes blitz. They've got the screen play called. Good call against that blitz. Butler, there's a flag, and you know why? Because Ogden had men downfield. There's a flag back at the 46-yard line, and Ogden had linemen downfield way too far. We've seen that call a couple of times here tonight. And it's an ineligible man downfield on Ogden. So instead of having the ball down at the 40, they're going to be backed up. To the 37, their own 37, instead of having it down at the Logan 40. That is the first penalty of the fourth quarter. And that's saying something. We have 17 penalties in this game, 17 accepted penalties in this game. The refs are going to have to ice their elbows. And none of them have been questionable. Most of them have been pretty obvious. So 1st and 15. DeVries steps up, delivers, has his man down the middle, and it's incomplete. And when I say has his man, I was talking about Gastelum, because Gastelum was running wide open. And instead, coming over and trying to make the grab was Jackson Allred, and he can't haul it in. I don't know which one he was looking at. Gastelum was running the post, and Allred was running down that seam, and Allred undercut Gastelum and went up and tried to haul it down and couldn't catch it. If he doesn't go up and get his mitts on that, that might fall into Gastelum's arms and be a touchdown. 2nd and 15. Inside give to Butler. Gets out of a couple of tackles. He's got a little bit of real estate as he spins into Logan territory at the 49. 14 yards makes it a very manageable 3rd and 1. And the cramp bugs bit one of the Grizzlies down there about the 44-yard line. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. That's a cramp. Butler, 6 feet, 180 pounds. Running hard, 64 yards on 10 carries. Hansen's got 88 yards on 13 carries. But time is Logan's ally. Both teams with all 3 timeouts left. Logan with a 15-point lead at 41-26. Can't tell who the Logan player is that's cramping up down there. And we saw Riley Hansen for Ogden earlier. On that far sideline, they worked on him, had some cramps. Hansen's averaging 7.8 yards per carry coming into this game tonight. 164 yards. He's got 88 yards tonight. And Butler with his 64 yards, he got 155 coming into tonight. 22 yards per carry for Butler before tonight. Well, they've got the Logan player off to the sideline. Still didn't see who it was. Hansen, they motion him out of the backfield. Run that little screen. He's got the first down. It was 3rd and 1. And he's got 4 yards. 230 yards passing now for DeVries. Hansen's got 77 yards receiving to go with his 88 yards rushing. Ogden down by 2 scores. 4:50 to play in the ball game. They're just not in much of a hurry. Running the screen, and DeVries puts it in the ground because the Grizzlies had that one sniffed out. They've run that screen multiple times tonight with varying degrees of success. A couple of times it looks like they had caught Logan in. They caught Logan in one earlier, but they had a man downfield. The lineman was too far downfield and it brought it back. Other than that, it's been an okay play for him. But against a pressuring defense, it's a good call. Gastelum in motion. Fake the give. Right down the seam. They've got a man down at the 30-yard line. I think he may have dropped the football. Yeah, it's incomplete. Ben Howard had it at the 30. If there was replay, they could look at this one and see if maybe he caught it and then fumbled it. But just as he was hit, he lost that football. You saw him gather it back in. And it's incomplete. $15 of 25 now for DeVries. 3rd and 10. Heard a few boo birds out there after that. That's a ball that should have been caught. They're going to give to Hansen. Hansen bounces outside, and he's down the sideline. Touchdown, Ogden. There's a flag at the 35. It's going to be a hold. How many big plays have we seen called back tonight? A lot. It's going to be a hold. Illegal block in the back. So instead of a 45-yard touchdown run, it's going to be 3rd down and a lot. And that would have put Hansen well over 100 yards. Would have put him up about 130. Station owner Earl Rouse is here in the box with us tonight. He's an Ogden High alum. DeVries has a man at the sticks. Gas to him. No. 4th and 10. I asked Earl if Ogden won. Well, I said, Earl, if Ogden wins, are you going to take the whole crew out for dinner? And that's why every time Logan scores a touchdown, you hear somebody yelling in the background. It's Earl, because he doesn't want to pay for the whole crew for dinner. And I've seen this crew eat. It's like turning loose a bunch of chubby kids in a cotton candy factory. 4th and 10. DeVries, look out, down he goes! Logan with their 2nd sack of the game, and that might have just put this ball game in the old refrigerator, as the great Hot Rod Hundley used to say. DeVries had no chance. Logan defenders were in the backfield as quick as he was, and he started there. Now we'll probably see a steady dose of Thornley. I don't know. Van Leeuwen's a receiver. He might go up top on first down. Try to put this ball game away. Nope, it's Thornley. Inside the 40-yard line. Cade Thornley picks up 6. A workmanlike night for Thornley. 14 carries, 56 yards. 3 catches for 49 yards. A couple of touchdowns on the ground. He's going to get another tote down near the first down marker, and he's got it. That stops the clock, and they move the sticks. Needed 4, and he got 5. Clock kept running. Now they've stopped it and moved the sticks. Sauer in the ball game as a receiver. He's split wide with Van Leeuwen to the far side. Charlie Jensen's here at the bottom of your screen. Pawnee and Thornley in the backfield momentarily for Parkinson as Pawnee motions out. Parkinson's going to throw. Underneath, he dumps it to Pawnee. Pawnee's got blockers. Charlie Jensen with a great block downfield, and Pawnee puts this one to bed. Thanks for coming, Ogden. But the Grizz are heading for 3-0. Pawnee's second touchdown reception of the night. And that puts Parkinson over 300. 303 and 4 touchdowns. Kick's good. 48-26 is our score as Logan is now running away from Ogden with 3:10 to play in the ballgame.
Hi guys, Valley. This is Fernando over the factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving out free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gias in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
32-yard touchdown pass from Parkinson to Pawnee. Ogden's hung in all night. A couple of turnovers, a big turnover early in this second half really kind of started swinging things Logan's way, and Ogden just hasn't been able to slow down the Logan offense late in this game when it's counted. But Ogden's going to win some more games this year. They've started out 2-0, and a lot of people had questions because they played 2 teams that haven't won a game between them. Those 2 teams that they played were 0-4 combined. Now they come in here against Logan tonight, and they really gave Logan everything they could handle for the better part of 3.5 quarters, and it's just been in the last, last 7 or 8 minutes that Logan's really started pulling away here. DeVries, 230 yards, a couple interceptions, 3 touchdowns. Ogden's got themselves a pretty good quarterback. They run that little tunnel screen. Allred just about lost the football. He picks up 7. His first catch of the night. But Ogden plays in a run-heavy region with Stansbury and Tooele and the like. Defensively, Colby Buckwalt has He's got to figure something out with this team. And flags before the play can start. Because they're in a region with Stansbury, Tooele. Penalty on Ogden. Their 11th penalty. They're in Region 11 with Bonneville, Stansbury, Park City, Tooele, and Ben Lomond. Tooele and Stansbury run the ball. We saw Bonneville last week against Green Canyon. They can run the football. Ben Lomond looks like they might be on their way to a tough year this year as they're 0-3. DeVries looking for Gastelum, and Gastelum can't come down with it. It was a little high. 3rd and 9. 2:14 to play. DeVries under center. And 3rd and 9. No, 3rd and 8 was a pickup of 7. This might have been a new running back. Let's see who that was. That was Bombella, Caden Bombella. Ogden got some things done tonight. $179 yards on the ground, 237 in the air, and 416 yards offensively for Ogden. I mean, they moved the ball around with Logan. They just couldn't be stopped. Let's look at Logan real quick. 94, 103 yards rushing, 303 yards through the air, so 406 yards. So Ogden's actually outgained Logan. But the Grizzlies put more points on the board, and that's how they measure success in this game. Logan's on their way to 3-0. Skyview in a fight with Springville. Last time I checked, that score on that one was 7-6. That one should be about halftime. Skyview was in the lead. 4th and 1. Give it to the first man. And he picks up the first down. That was Logan Shoby.
First down, Ogden Tigers.
Now the clock continues to run, and Ogden will just keep running some plays. DeVries still your quarterback, but a lot of the other players are backups that are in there now. And Ogden running back was moving early. Shoby, they run the screen, he picks up 2. They don't throw the flag.
Second down.
Keep the flag in their pocket on that one. You can see the white hat kind of reaching for his flag and then just seeing what happened. If that thing went for 6 points, they might have called it back. There's a little lateral pass. It's going to end up going for a loss. Cooper Crabtree is kind of fighting with it. Finally came up with it. Timeout on the field. Does Ogden call a timeout? He did. Logan's going to win this thing by 22 points. It was a closer game than that throughout. Logan jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Ogden came back and got it within 2 points most of the ball game, and then Logan pulled away late. An entertaining one here tonight at Maverick Stadium in the Rocky Mountain Kickoff as the Logan Grizzlies defeat the Ogden Tigers 48-26. Logan moves to 3-0. Johnny Parkinson, 4 touchdown passes, 303 yards passing on the night. And again, the Grizzlies move to 3-0. We hope you enjoyed this game of the week on the Valley Channel tonight. Mountain Crest and Box Elder coming up next.
The game of the week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. Cache Valley Electric, a tradition of excellence since 1915. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. Lynn's Audio and Video, Cache Valley specialist for 60 years. Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning, give us a call, you'll be glad you did. Herms Inn, last chance for great food. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Planet Fitness of Logan, no intimidation and only $10 a month. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.
Linda, you're going to tell us a little bit about your story today, and we'll start with how come you had to have hearing aids originally?
Well, I think it comes down through my family. My grandmother was very hard of hearing, and so I started noticing that at work, if I was in a meeting, everyone else is comfortable in hearing what was being said, and I'm sitting forward in my chair, and I can't hear. And then a lot of my job was dealing with people on the phone, and when they would call, and I'd say, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear that," and they'd repeat it in about the same tone, and I still didn't hear them. By the time I said 3 times, they were irritated and thought I was stupid.
Which you're clearly not, but that does happen.
So it was frustrating. So we had tried a couple of things. You know, they tried giving me a little booster thing on the phone, and that didn't work. And so I just thought, I just need to go get hearing aids, and let's just do it. So
you went and got hearing aids, and you were happy with them. They helped you out, I'm sure.
Yes. In fact, they were really surprised because when I went back, they're like, "Oh, wow, you're wearing these this many hours," and I'm like, "Yes." That's why I wanted hearing aids, so I could hear. And I was happy with them and happy with the service. But when I retired, I needed a little bit different kind of support, and than I had before. So my son had come here to Dr. Dane's, as my son, who was in his 30s at the time he was getting hearing aids.
So it really is a family thing, isn't it? Yeah.
He has it from both sides of the family.
Oh, poor thing.
Guy. Yeah. So he just said, "Hey, I really think, Mom, I think you'd like to come to this guy." So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
And he's been fantastic.
Yeah. Tell us a few of the qualities that you like about Dr. Danes. I know he's very much customer service oriented, isn't he?
Yes, very much. And not difficult to get into, and willing sometimes if I just needed to stop by, I can pick up some batteries, or he'll take a look at them, and I didn't have to even, worry about if it was going to be convenient, make an appointment. I could come, and
you've been coming now, of course, to Dr. Danes here at Cache Valley Hearing for several years, and have you recommended him to anybody?
Yes, I have. And in fact, I just found out that a really good friend of mine and her husband have been in just recently. And so I'm excited to talk to them. I hope that they feel the same way I do.
Oh, I'm sure they will. One thing Dr. Daines is famous for is his customer service.
Yes, very much so, and I have so appreciated it. Yeah. And very easy to talk to and very willing to help. Yeah. So.
And just can't ever do enough for you, is what we hear all the time. He's always here for you and can't ever do enough for you.
That is absolutely right. And he upgraded my hearing aids for me, when I got to that point, and it's been very successful. Good. So I've appreciated that too.
Good. So if you are in need of hearing aids or even just a hearing test, you're not sure, follow Linda's recommendation and come in and see Dr. Daines. Thank you so much, Linda.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Because they are friendly and helpful. They answer any questions that I have, no matter how silly I think they are. My favorite thing about Anderson's is the variety of seats that they have. Anderson's is the best.
We starting to lose our hearing? Is it genetic? Is it environmental? What's happening to us?
There's many things. Genetics can take a part of it. Certain medications, ototoxic drugs, but most of it's just life, living in general. We go to a concert here. We go to a motorcycle rally. We ride a motorcycle. We're exposed to all these loud sounds, loud music, but it all takes a little bit of hearing. A little bit here, a little bit there. We don't notice it. It's so slowly happening, and it's painless, and over time just that little bit compounds, and pretty soon we have a significant hearing loss that's affecting our ability to communicate with our loved ones.
Right, and the only way you may notice that is if your wife says something to you and you're saying what 42 times a day, which of course I have no experience of that whatsoever.
Your wife, or you have the TV turned up too loud, always repeating, asking people to repeat, just not sure what they're saying. Yeah. You hear them but you don't understand.
Right. I have that trouble too in a full room of people. I can't pick out one conversation anymore.
That comes from most likely a high frequency hearing loss.
Yeah, see, I'm getting old. But it doesn't even apply to just old people, does it? Or older. It can certainly be people who are younger. I mean, you have young patients too, don't you?
Yes, about 1 in 4, the latest studies I read, 1 in 4 teenagers has hearing loss due to exposure to noise.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, we could go on about that, but we can see it because we've all had the experience of teenagers listening to music through some kind of device, and they've got their earbuds in, and you say something to them, and they pull it out, one of them, and you can hear their music, 2 blocks away down the street, and you just think, you're going to be deaf.
Yes. With an iPad and an Apple product with the volume turned up all the way, you have about 10 minutes of listening time before you actually start creating hearing loss.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, so that's significant. Wow.
About 70% of the volume, you can go about 8 hours. Okay. So in a day's time. So if you're listening to those things, turn them down. Put a limit on them at about 70% of the maximum volume.
Wow, well that's really interesting because I didn't realize it would be that brutal and that quickly. So kids that are listening to this every day, day in and day out, I mean, we're laughing, but seriously, it could be a real problem.
It can affect their whole life, their career choices, everything in their life can be affected by the not being able to hear.
Wow. Okay, so very simply, turn the music down. But aside from that, if you are experiencing any kind of problem, be you my age or be you younger, why don't you give Dr. Daines a call here at Cache Valley Hearing. Tell us where we are, Dr. Daines, and how they can get hold of you.
We're at 485 North Main Street in Logan, and you can just give us a call at 435-753-4327 or at 753-HEAR here.
Okay. Well, that's a good, that's very apt. Yeah, I should say so. Any kind of hearing loss, and literally, please don't let this feeling of embarrassment or it not being manly or cool, that's a bit dim. You shouldn't be embarrassed about something that is a natural aging process.
It's actually more noticeable when you don't hear and have to have people to repeat themselves.
That's true. And extremely irritating for those around you that are having to repeat it time and time again. Thanks so much, Dr. Daines. And seriously, guys, give Dr. Daines a call. Your hearing problems will be solved. Thanks, Dr. Daines.
My grandma, her heart wasn't working right, so the ambulance took her to Star Hospital. My mom says Star Hospital is the best place for grandma because there are really no hearts. She says the Star Hospital people are best at treating heart failures and a fib, so you don't want to tell a lie in this place.
From chest pain to open heart surgery, we offer comprehensive heart care all along the Wasatch Front. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
The doctor said grandma had a heart enlargement thing. I always knew my grandma had a big heart.
John, you've been seeing Dr. Daines now for a little while. Can you tell us your story and what led you to him specifically?
Yes, when I was in college years ago, I was going into the secondary ed department at Utah State University, and they require you as you enter the program to take a hearing and speech test, and I did that, and I failed my hearing test substantially. At the time I was a music major, and so having a hearing loss was a big thing, and at that time I found out I had a substantial hearing loss, and it was degenerative. And so I kind of ruined a music career, and so I had to change up a little bit in my plans in the future. And I also found out at the time that it was most likely the cause of things like not hearing my alarm in the morning and not being able to understand teachers and a lot of things that affected my education directly. I decided to live with it a bit, and just because the cost sometimes for a student can be a lot more than what a student can handle for the cost for hearing assistance. And I just got to the point in my life where I was having a hard time functioning. I became a recluse in group situations because I wasn't able to hear the conversations all the time. I began to just read lips, and I got pretty good at reading lips because that was the only way I was able to even attempt to figure out how what they were saying and how the conversation was going. Got to the point where I had lost enough where I was only following between 10 and 20% of dialogue and conversation, and that depended on the person's voice and the frequency of their voice. So because of that, I was in desperate need. I would not pay attention in church situations and just sit in the back of class, or sometimes not go. I would not be actively involved in social situations. And eventually I decided to do something about it, and that's when I met Dr. Daines. He took me through the whole process, and we had our tests done. We figured out a way that I could get the hardware that I needed to assist my hearing and be able to hear. And he works with lots of different companies and lots of different makers of hearing aids, and has a lot of different assistance in hardware. And he's very professional. He knows what he's doing, and he's very honest with you and saying, this is what you need, but this could be better, or this might be more expensive, but it doesn't really help you as much, so let's try this. And so we finally found a hearing aid that fit my budget and helps me hear better, and now I can function in life. And it was like night and day. I hadn't heard birds in over a decade. I hadn't heard just simple things that you don't realize you're missing in life, and I just became a new person.
So when you say that you don't realize, had you not noticed that you were losing your hearing?
I hadn't noticed. In fact, when I was in college and failed that hearing test, I had no clue that I would. Had no clue that I had lost my hearing. And one ear was worse than the other, and when they told me that, I was able to suddenly think about it and start noticing a difference. But it happened so slowly that I never noticed.
So clearly a life-changing moment for you. I don't think that's overstating it, when you met Dr. Daines and everything he was. And you actually have a hearing aid on today. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Can you?
I have 2 hearing aids.
You have 2? See, I did not know. That's great, the modern technology too, because you just don't have to see them.
Yes, and not only that, but I have a device that allows me to hook them up to Bluetooth, and so I can talk on my phone while I'm wearing my hearing aids, and they just go through my hearing aids. I can connect it to my television, and so I can hear the television truly, and the television volume can be all the way down for other people, and I can hear it just fine. Just lots of technology in today's society that can assist you in so many ways.
Well, I'm really glad that you came to Dr. Daines, and I'm really glad that he was able to help you. It's horrifying for all people to be thinking that you would be reclusive.
Yes, and if you're hesitant or anything like that, I mean, just try them out and just find out about it. And it affects everyone. It affects the people around you too. It just doesn't affect you. There, some people they stop talking to you because they think that you're just not going to hear them, and loved ones are worried about how you're going to function in life, and it can affect how you drive, and it can affect how you just function in society.
Well, what a wonderful story from John. Thank you, John. Come on down and see Dr. Daines, because I'm sure that he can help you too. Thanks, John.
Say the word chain. Say the word kick.
Hey guys, if you've been thinking about a guitar or any other instrument in mind for you or somebody else, we have some great financing options from 6 to 12 months. Yamaha's doing a 12-month plan right now. Come in, get some time to pay it off, and have no interest for up to a year.
Dr. Daines, you are a doctor, you're a fully qualified doctor of audiology, and we were looking at your business card a few minutes ago, and you've got an awfully lot of letters after your name. What do they all mean?
They're all representations of my certifications that I have. I graduated from Utah State with my doctorate degree in audiology. I have a bachelor's degree in communicative disorders and deaf education. And then I've also have what they call a board certification, which entails further education and further training after the Doctorate of Audiology degree.
Okay, so very clearly not a fly-by-night operation here. You've spent many years training and qualifying and loving. I get the impression when I see you with your patients that you love what you do.
I do. I love this. I love enjoying sitting back with my patients, helping them out. I get a lot of satisfaction, take a lot of pride in doing a job well done.
Yeah. And so the Daines family, been here for many generations in Cache Valley, again, homegrown doctor in yourself. What do you love about seeing your patients? They all seem to love you too, I will say that, we've noticed.
Everybody has a different story. We have a lot of neat families here in the Valley, a lot of neat people, and I enjoy meeting them and hearing about them and their life and seeing if we can make it better. After all, family is what's important. Those relations that we build with one another. Some of my favorite memories are sitting around with my grandmother, around with all the cousins when I was young, and those things are very important, and that's where hearing comes in. We need to be a part of those types of environments and not sit around and wondering what's going on. We enable people to be able to enjoy those things again.
Yes, you do, because actually there's nothing worse, is there, than being in a crowd of people and you really can't understand what anyone's saying to you.
Yep, and it affects your relationships with those people.
Now, I noticed also here, as we've been here a few minutes today, that you've had a couple of people come in and out without an appointment, just kind of needing a little tweaking, perhaps, a little reassurance. You're there for them all day, aren't you?
Yep, we're here every day. Every Monday through Friday, and we don't charge for those things. If we can fix it here in the office and take care of it, we do it at no charge. Hearing's important to us, and we want to make sure that you're hearing the best that you can.
Yeah, and it's very clear when we've been watching you that you really do love what you do, and your patients are so comfortable with you. Tell us where you are and how to get help if people need it.
I'm at 485 North Main Street in Logan, and you can give us a call at 753-HEAR, HEAR, or 4327.
Okay. So if you do think you're losing your hearing just a little bit, like some of us of that certain age, come on down and see Dr. Daines and he'll sort you right out. Thank you.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores, or online, and now it's really slow, or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
Candy, you were mentioning that you really don't feel like Dr. Daines is in any way a salesman, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah. He has a hard time selling. He will do everything he can before he sells you something new. And I've told him I want what's new and I want an upgrade when it comes up, but he's very careful about what he says to sell things.
So, I mean, basically then he's not really trying to push any kind of product. What he wants for you is the best in your circumstance and how he can help you. How has he helped you in the past?
I've had, in the past, I've had 4 different hearing aids, all top of the line. None of them have really worked that well for me. I had a person behind me on a skateboard. I didn't know he was there till he was beside me.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, so Dr. Daines fitted me with these hearing aids that have directional, and I can hear behind me when I'm out walking, which is great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now, you said that one time you had to, and that these 4 that you had, of course, were all previous to coming to Dr. Daines. Right. And when you found him, you said that he was going to set up in his own business, and you wanted to make sure that he kept you with him.
Yeah, I absolutely kept telling him, save my phone number, keep my phone number.
So now, the one time he was going to have to send your hearing aids back to the factory, what happened there?
He knew I had something special coming up on Monday, and he had sent them back to the factory, and they didn't come in. And he said, if they come in on Saturday night, I will come in. Here's my home phone number, and I'll come in on Saturday night or Sunday and make sure that you have your hearing aids for your trip. So he's always available. He will come in early or stay late on Sunday, anything to fit you in.
Right. So just a really good guy, and yeah, you really like him.
I do.
As do all his patients.
I do. I have recommended him to everybody that I know, and several people have come in, and they all say the same thing. Thanks for sending me to Dr. Daines.
Okay. Well, you can't get a higher recommendation than that. Thank you, Candy. If you need a person that's going to treat you with respect and kindness and compassion and get in on their time to help you in your time, come and see Dr. Daines here at Cache Valley Hearing. Thank you, Candy.
Yes, thank you.